If you're not telling a compelling story as a hypnotherapist, you are going to struggle to survive because you are working in an incredibly competitive market space. And you can't just work harder. You have got to differentiate yourself. You've got to make yourself stand out. And you know, everything in life starts with a story. Everything we learn from an early age starts with a story. So storytelling is incredibly powerful and incredibly important to get right. If you are going to differentiate yourself, if you're going to make yourself stand out, and if you're going to make your clients relate to you. So since the dawn of time, humans have communicated and influenced through telling stories. So why do you need to tell your story? Why is it so important? There are several reasons why. And the first of these is from a client's perspective, amongst this sea of hypnotherapists all offering the same kind of thing, telling your story makes you relatable, particularly if you're working in niches. When you tell your story, you make yourself relatable to the people, not to everybody, but you make yourself relatable to your ideal clients, people who are going through similar experiences to what you've been through, who want help with areas that you are passionate about, that you're experienced in. So you become relatable. But also by telling your story, you actually become more approachable. You become approachable. That doesn't stop you being professional, but you become approachable. And when you become approachable, people open up to you. People feel they can trust you. People find it hard to work with people they think are perfect. When you tell your story, when you show your vulnerability, you become approachable. And here's something else, you know, for new hypnotherapists, people worry about a lot of things, but one of the things they really worry about is, how am I going to get started when I don't have many credentials, when I don't have many Google reviews? How do I get that credibility? You get your story right. You get your story out there because, you know, people buy on emotion. People buy on emotion. And if people relate to you, if people feel you're approachable, if people like you, if they buy into your story, they're going to see past your experience or your lack of experience, because what they're going to do, what's going to happen is you're going to make them feel good about you, that you understand them, they can relate to you, and therefore you can help solve their problem. So right at the beginning of your career, you need to get your story right. And the other thing that's fundamentally important, really, really important, is that when you get your story right, you've got the foundation for getting your brand right. And as I teach in my Boost Academy, helping hypnotherapists build, scale a sustainable business, the first step, the foundation, is getting your brand right. When your brand's right, everything else falls into place. When your brand's right, your offerings fall into place. When your brand is right, your marketing outreach falls into place. And the cornerstone of that foundation of your brand is your story. Who are you? What are you about? Where have you come from? So it's one thing to say that you need to have a story and tell your story, but you've got to tell it the right way. You have got to tell your story the right way, because we all need that successful story that sells, but it only sells if it works well. And who's better at selling a story than Hollywood? Hollywood tells stories, compelling stories that buy people in across the world, across cultures, and they do this continually. And you know why they do this? Because they have a formula, they have a system, they know how to tell a story. Whatever the subject is, they know how to tell a story. So what I teach in Boost Academy is I teach you that Hollywood film formula. I teach you how to tell your story in a compelling way that clients are going to buy into. I do that. I show you exactly what you need to do in exactly the order you need to do it. And if you think you haven't got a story, I'll help you understand that you have got a story, because we all have a story. And when we tell our story, when we're authentic, our ideal client becomes obvious. And then everything else, our offerings, our outreach, all flow from that. And it's all congruent. And people then buy from you, because people buy hypnotherapy because they trust you, they like you, they believe in you. That is incredibly important. So in Boost Academy, I teach you that whole system. I teach you the way that Hollywood construct movies. I teach you the system that they go through. And it's really, really very simple. So you need to tell your story. Whatever stage you're at, tell your story. If you're starting, get your story right as the foundation of your way forward. Everything will flow from that. If you've been going a while and you're not getting a business as you'd like, go back and get your story right, and then adjust everything else that follows off the back of that and see what happens. So in Boost Academy, this is what we do. We take you through the whole of the system that you need, of which telling that story is the first part of it, a key part of the branding, the B part of Boost. So if you would like to know more about what I do, about how it can help you to establish your business quickly, to build that overall system, to tell your story and all the other things that you need to do to build a successful, sustainable hypnotherapy practice, visit my website, www.helpforhypnotherapists.com and /courses, where you'll see my courses. Also on that website, you'll see lots of other free content, because we're here to help hypnotherapy grow and to help hypnotherapists be successful. Thanks for listening. Check out my course, and remember, tell your story. It's the best thing you will ever do to build your successful hypnotherapy practice.